The email notification popped up while I was in the middle of debugging code at work. Congratulations on your upcoming event. Your deposit of $15,000 has been processed. I stared at the screen, coffee mug frozen halfway to my lips. I wasn't planning any event. I didn't have $15,000 in my checking account for any deposit. My hands shook slightly as I clicked open the email. Dear Ms. Vanessa Chen, thank you for choosing Rosewood Manor for your sister's wedding celebration. As discussed with your mother, Patricia Chen, sister's wedding, my sister Lily, my mother. My credit card. I set down the mug carefully, pulled up my banking app, and felt my stomach drop. There it was, $15,000 charged to my American Express. The one I'd stupidly made my mother an authorized user on 3 years ago for emergencies. Apparently, Lily's dream wedding qualified as an emergency. My phone rang before I could process the full implications. Mom, with her impeccable timing. Vanessa, darling, do you see? We secured Rosewood Manor. You know how impossible they are to book. But when I mentioned your excellent credit, you used my credit card without asking me. Silence. Then that nervous laugh she did when caught. Well, technically I'm authorized. For emergencies. Not for wedding venues. This is an emergency. They only had one date available in the next year, and Lily has her heart set on a June wedding. You know how she is about astrology. Mom, it's $15,000. Just the deposit. The total is $76,000, but that includes everything: venue, catering, flowers, band. It's actually quite reasonable for 300 guests. I hung up. 300 guests, $76,000, in my name. My phone immediately exploded with texts. Mom, don't be dramatic, call me back. Lily, OMG, thank you, Sias. Mom said you're covering the wedding. You're the best. Dad, your mother says you hung up on her. Very disrespectful. Mom, family takes care of family. I turned off my phone and walked to my manager's office. Hey, Kevin, I need to take the rest of the day. Family emergency. The next 4 hours were a blur of phone calls. First, American Express to report fraud. Except it wasn't technically fraud since I'd authorized my mother as a user. They could dispute the charge, but it would take time. Next, Rosewood Manor. The events coordinator, Brittany, was sympathetic but firm. I understand your situation, Ms. Chen, but your mother signed the contract with your card present. The deposit is non-refundable. If you cancel now, you're still liable for 50% of the total contract, $38,000. I didn't sign anything. No, but the cardholder agreement makes you responsible for authorized user purchases. I'm so sorry. This happens more than you'd think with family events. My laptop was already open, fingers flying across the keyboard. Legal options, credit protection, identity theft laws. The more I read, the clearer it became. I was screwed. Making my mother an authorized user had given her legal permission to destroy my financial future. I pulled up the full contract Brittany had emailed. Reading through it was like watching a car accident in slow motion. Premium bar service. Exotic flower arrangements. A 12-piece band. Champagne fountain. Ice sculptures. Every possible luxury, all billed to Vanessa Chen. My savings account held $42,000. My entire life savings, meant for a house down payment. If I couldn't get out of this contract, it would be gone. Plus, I'd need loans for the rest. My phone, turned back on, had 47 missed calls. I ignored them all and called my lawyer friend Marcus. Nessa, what's wrong? How quickly can someone legally change their name and disappear? What? What are you talking about? I explained. He whistled low. That's intense. Legally, you're probably on the hook unless you want to press criminal charges against your mother. Which I can't do without destroying the family. Right, so what's your plan? I'm thinking about it. I hung up and stared at the contract again. The wedding date, June 15th, 3 months away. 3 months to figure out how to not lose everything I'd worked for. Or 3 months to plan something else entirely. I turned my phone back on and scrolled through the family group chat. Photos of Lily in wedding dresses, links to honeymoon destinations, my cousins congratulating her, my aunts offering to help with planning. Everyone's so excited about the wedding that Vanessa was paying for. Not one person had asked if I was okay with this. I made my decision. The next morning, I called in sick to work and drove to my parents' house. The whole family was there, Saturday morning tradition. Pancakes and wedding planning, apparently. Vanessa, my mother rushed to hug me. I knew you'd come around. We have so much to discuss. I let her lead me to the dining room where Lily sat surrounded by bridal magazines, fabric samples, and color swatches. My father read his newspaper, pretending to be above it all while occasionally grunting approval. Nessa, Lily bounced up. I'm so grateful. I know it's a lot of money, but you're the only one in the family who could do this. And you don't even have kids or anything to spend it on. There it was, single, chillless Vanessa with her tech job, the family ATM. Show me everything, I said calmly. For 2 hours I sat through every detail. The guest list minus 300 people, including relatives I'd never met and my parents' entire country club. The menu, lobster and filet mignon. The flowers, imported orchids. The photographer, someone who'd shot celebrity weddings. I took notes, asked questions, smiled in all the right places. You're being amazing about this, Mom said, squeezing my hand. I knew you'd understand. Family takes care of family. You keep saying that. I squeezed back. Tell me, when has family taken care of me? Her smile faltered. What do you mean? When I needed help with college loans, where was family? When my car broke down and I couldn't afford repairs. When I was working 3 jobs to pay for my apartment. That's different. You're right, it is, because I never stole from anyone to solve my problems. The room went quiet. Stole. My father lowered his newspaper. That's a strong word. What else do you call using someone's credit without permission? I had permission. Mom protested. I'm an authorized user. For emergencies. Lily's wedding isn't an emergency. It's an event you chose to plan on my credit without asking. We assumed you'd want to help, Lily said, her voice small. You're always talking about how well you're doing. I'm doing well because I live below my means and save money. Money that was supposed to be for my future, not your party. So dramatic, Dad muttered. It's one day. It's $76,000. That's 2 years of my take-home pay. Gone. For one day. We'll pay you back, Mom said quickly. With what? Dad's been retired for 5 years. You work part-time at the library. Lily's a bartender. Who exactly is paying me back? Silence. That's what I thought. I stood. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be very involved in this wedding planning. Very involved. Really? Lily brightened. Oh yes. Every decision. Every vendor. Every detail. I want to know everything. They exchanged glances, but what could they say? It was my money. Over the next 2 months, I became the world's most dedicated wedding planner. I had spreadsheets. Timelines. Vendor contracts. I asked for copies of everything, called every supplier to confirm details. I was at every meeting, every tasting, every fitting. You're really taking this seriously, Mom said one day, watching me triple-check the guest list. It's my financial future on the line. Of course I'm taking it seriously. What they didn't know was that I was also taking other things seriously, like job hunting in other states, like selling everything I couldn't fit in my car, like finding a subletter for my apartment, like legally changing my phone number and closing all my social media accounts. 2 weeks before the wedding, everything was finalized. Deposits paid from my savings. Vendors confirmed. Guest list locked at 312 people. You've been wonderful, Lily hugged me after the final venue walkthrough. I know I don't deserve this. You're right, I said simply, you don't. She pulled back, hurt. Nessa. None of you deserve what I've done for this family. Don't worry. After your wedding, you won't have to deal with me being dramatic anymore. What's that supposed to mean? You'll see. The morning of June 15th dawned perfect. Clear skies, mild temperature. I woke up in my empty apartment, everything I owned already packed in my car. My new job in Portland started Monday. My resignation letter was dated for today. I drove to Rosewood Manor at 11 a.m. The vendors were setting up, flowers being arranged, tables being placed, everything exactly as planned. The wedding coordinator rushed over. Miss Chen, so glad you're here early. We just need your final signature on a few things. I signed everything, confirmed every detail. Then I handed her an envelope. What's this? For the bride, to be delivered at exactly noon. Of course. I took one last look at the $76,000 party I'd involuntarily funded. It was beautiful. Exactly what Lily had dreamed of. Exactly what my family had stolen from me to achieve. They said family takes care of family while secretly using MYCREDIT to BOOK, a $76,000 wedding. I let them finalize the GSTLST, then vanished 3 states away ATNOON. By the time Lily opened my letter, I was passing through Nevada. By the time the guests arrived to find no bride's sister, no one to give the speech I'd promised, no one to handle the vendor tips I'd assured them I'd cover personally, I was in California. The letter was brief. Lily, congratulations on your wedding. It's everything you dreamed of and exactly what you were willing to steal to get. The contracts are all in my name, as you know. The bills will come to me, but I won't be there to pay them. I've moved, changed my number, started over. The apartment is sublet, the forwarding address is a P.O. box I'll never check. You wanted a $76,000 wedding on my credit? You've got it. You'll also get the collections notices, the lawsuits, and the explanations to all 312 guests about why the vendors are calling looking for final payments. I'm declaring bankruptcy, already filed. Turns out, when someone commits fraud using your credit, even if they're an authorized user, bankruptcy courts are very understanding. My lawyer says I'll be clear in 7 years. You, however, will be explaining to your new husband why there are liens being placed. Why vendors are calling. Why the perfect wedding turned into a perfect disaster. Family takes care of family. You should have taken care of me when you had the chance. Vanessa, P.S. Mom's authorized user status was revoked the day you booked the venue. Every charge after that, actually fraud. My lawyer will be in touch. My new phone, stayed blissfully silent as I drove toward my new life. I'm sure my old number was exploding with calls, texts, rage, panic, but that wasn't my problem anymore. 6 months later, I got an email to my work address from my cousin Derek. The family was in chaos. Lily's marriage was already rocky. Turns out starting married life with massive legal troubles wasn't romantic. My parents were being sued by 3 vendors. The bankruptcy had protected me, but not them. Everyone's looking for you, he wrote. They want to apologize, to make it right. I didn't respond. There was nothing to make right. They'd shown me exactly where I stood in the family hierarchy, at the bottom, only valuable for what they could take. Portland was beautiful. My new job paid better. My credit would recover in time. And I'd learned the most valuable lesson of my life. When people tell you who they are, when they steal from you and call it love, when they destroy your future and call you ungrateful for not appreciating it, believe them. And then protect yourself accordingly. Even if protection looks like disappearing into the sunset while they're still setting up the champagne fountain you paid for but will never toast with. Especially then.